So let's get a broader view of software engineering. We are going to get deeper into the formal definition of what software engineering actually is, what is its scope, what does it involve, and we're going to go to the nitty-gritty details of all of it throughout this course. But for now, let's get a high-level perspective of what software engineering actually is. So software engineering is a set of tools, is a set of techniques, is a set of templates, diagrams. You have to just use this template to build the software. So when I say software engineering, these techniques are used to develop professional software. A software engineering technique may not be used by someone who just wants to write code for fun or who wants to learn a new programming skill. But when you come to professional software development, you are going to employ software engineering tools and techniques. Software engineering is applied. So these are some of the activities that happen when you build a software. That is, you have program specification, you have program design, you have program evolution. Do not worry about these terms. You are going to get familiar with them. I'm just giving you a high level or a broad view of the things that happen when you develop software products. Do not worry about these terms at all. Let me give you a brief outlook on these terms. So first, always we start with program specification. Program specification is a phase where the client or the customer who has something on his mind, like he needs a software with some objectives on his mind, and he comes to an organization and says, I need a product which is going to give me these kind of services, or I need a product with these objectives in mind. I want the product to do A, B, C, D, and so on. So that is nothing but program specification, where the client comes to you and says, these are my requirements. The requirements may be functional in the sense he's going to exactly tell you what should be the output of that software product, what it should exactly do. The requirements could be non-functional. That is, he could tell you things like, I want the software to respond within these many milliseconds once the user has placed his request. He may also tell you constraints of operation, such as, I can invest say about 1 lakh in developing the software. So you have to work within this budget to give him that quality software without compromising on quality. He may also say, I want this product or software product ready within 2 months. So he's going to even give you a deadline, a time constraint. So you have to plan your timeline accordingly. So this is what happens in the program specification part. Move on to design. Once you have the program specification from the client, a client need not be a technical guy. He might be a layman. So you have to convert these requirements into a correct specification. From the specification, you're going to come up with a nice design. You're going to structure it. You're going to come up with a nice architecture and see what all modules can be put in, how these modules are going to interact, and what should be the outcome of each module, how that outcome is passed through an interface to the next module, and so on. So you're going to put the blueprint, just like before you build your house, you're going to have a blueprint in place showing all the rooms of the house, the layout, the direction, the position, and everything. So you're not going to start constructing the house from right away without a design or a blueprint in place, right? Similarly, before you code a software, you're going to actually put this design in place, and maybe you're also going to call your client back and say, boss, this is the design I have made. Do you have any thing that is missing? Do you want any kind of change that needs to be incorporated? Give me your suggestions, and so on. So once your design is placed, only then you're going to code or start building the software. So the next phase would be program evolution. As I told you, it's a lifelong activity. A software product will have a life cycle, and your software engineering tools and techniques are going to help you deploy the product and also maintain the product, evolve the software system once it is placed on field or once it is deployed at the customer's end. That is program evolution, where you're going to add new modules, new features, you're going to upgrade the product, add more patches, add incorporate new technology, or if the client feels, no, I need more things or more features or additions to be made to the existing product, you should be able to do that with minimal cost and time constraints. So that is about program evolution. So to do all these tasks, you're going to require software engineering techniques and tools. However, many people think that, software is just another word for computer programs, but no. When we're talking about software engineering, Software is not just the program themselves. Along with the program, you have a lot of associated documentation that tags along. A software product definitely won't be one program. It would be many programs, modules interacting with each other to get the final outcome the software product is supposed to do. Along with that, you have a lot of configuration files. Configuration files will actually help you set up the software. Maybe installation, maybe the route where you have to install your product, the path, all these things come in your configuration file. So they allow these multiple programs which make your software to be installed and placed correctly so that they can interact efficiently and they can give you the desired outcome. That could be one of your documentation. Other documentations could include systems documentation. A system documentation usually gives you an overview of the entire system, all the modules in the software. User documentation would be another part of your documentation. It would tell the user basically how to use the software, user manual, I could say. Also, you would provide links to or information about websites of your software product, where the user can always, go to that website, look for updates, look for more product information, contact customer help, support, and so on. If you're finding it difficult to relate to, go back to the washing machine example. When you purchase a washing machine, there is a panel, what is the input to be given. Along with the washing machine, you have a set of manuals coming along, how to install it, how to put it in place, what kind of wattage your output unit should have, and such things. You would also have a manual showing the different parts of the machine, the door, the drum, the panel, the different options on the panel, and so on. The entire high-level view of the washing machine is drawn for you and it is shown, right? That is nothing but your system documentation. Along with that, you'll also have a user manual which says what buttons on the panel you should press in order to get your desired wash cycle. So that is user documentation. Now, what are the different steps if you're a beginner in using the product? You will also have links to the website of the manufacturer, which will give you more information, more detail, a helpline number, a support, a chat bot option maybe, and websites, to help you in case you are caught up in between somewhere, or in case your product has a bug or a fault. So same thing applies to a software. So I hope you've got some clarity. I don't expect you to understand 100% of it, but I hope you've got some clarity on why software engineering is used or where it is used. So this is one of the most important differences between a professionally developed software and an amateur software development. So if you're writing, say, a code for yourself, no one else is going to use it. You are going to use it. You're going to modify it. You're going to tweak the different lines of code and so on. You do not have to, worry about writing a configuration file or a system documentation or a user manual or make a website for it. Definitely no. However, if you're writing a professionally developed software, you're going to work on it along with you. Your peers, other engineers are going to work and contribute and upgrade that product. And you're going to have an end user who will need documentation to work with your product. So that is the main difference between a professionally developed software and a software which is developed just as a hobby.